You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. I want to talk about your boy Kevin Hart gets exposed cheating a second time. Now, this is definitely not a good look for Mr. Kevin Hart. As y'all may not already be aware, Kevin Hart is very well known not only as a comedian, but he's also very known for being a habitual cheater. Okay? I believe, like a lot of men in Kevin Hart's shoes, Kevin was what I would consider is the Napoleon syndrome. The short man syndrome, you know, kind of like Obsidian. You know, some of these guys, because of their lack of height, they have to constantly get their ego stroked by, you know, being the funny, witty guy, always roasting, being charming to a select few, in particularly if it's a woman they find appealing, they know how to turn up the charm. If not, they definitely know how to spend money. So basically, you know, you have a lot of these short guys with big egos, and that is just their way of compensating for the lack of the height requirement. So they compensate for it, like I say, you know, being a funny guy, being a smooth talker, or being the high value man, the man that goes out and makes money because he's very ambitious, very driven. So nevertheless, Kevin Hart is a successful comedian. Can't take that away from him. He's done movies. He's done comedy tours. So, you know, you got to give the man his flowers, whether you like him or hate him. I'm not particularly a fan of Mr. Kevin Hart, and I'm sure it's not going to break his bank at all. But I will say, back in his younger days, I think he was a little bit more funny and authentic. And over time, as he became Hollywood, to me, his jokes just wasn't hitting on anything. But that's just my opinion. By the way, anything I say in this video is based off of my own opinion. Nothing I say is actual factual. Just sharing my perspective due to educational and entertainment purposes only. So, again, Kevin Hart is known for being a habitual cheater. He cheated on his first wife, Tori Hart. You know, he cheated on her. And Tori Hart was with Kevin from the start, you know, before he was this well-known comedian, his household name. She was ride or die. She was dedicated to him. She was with Kevin Hart for many, many years. And, of course, you know, when these men start getting into money and they start getting popular, here comes more options. All of a suddenly now, the woman who you started out with, all of a suddenly, you know, she's not on your level now. Now that you're making all of this money, now that you have all this notoriety, you have all these options, you got all of these women checking for you that normally wouldn't be checking for you had you still been in the struggle. Now keep in mind, him and Tori Hart was married in 2003 and ended up getting divorced in 2011. They do have 2 children together. Now, Tori was the backbone to Kevin Hart's success. Another Steve Harvey story, you know, and it's I find it very ironic that, and I'm going to say some black men, because I know plenty of black men that are still dedicated to their wives who they first started out with, way before the money, way before the fame. Denzel Washington is still with his same wife, Pauletta. LL Cool J is still with his teenage sweetheart, Simone. So a lot of men, Snoop Dogg is still with his same wife. So I'm not going to sit here and put all black men in the same box and say that all black men who get on the come up all of a sudden their preference in women gets lighter because, oh, Shantae, that's Snoop Dogg's wife named Shantae Brodus, you know. Got to respect the queens. Make sure I get their names correct. So you got some brothers out there that are very, very solid. They date A1s from day one. So big ups to my black kings out there who still are with the same women who held them down from the very start. But like I said, some of these men, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, you know, Ludacris, the name of select few or whatever. Not knocking what these brothers do, but listen, Cat Williams put it out there, okay? I got to give Cat Williams much respect. Some of these dudes get up there, they all of a sudden, they taste in women becomes brighter. They taste in women becomes brighter. It's a stigma that it's okay to be with a brown skin or a dark skinned woman as long as you are in the struggle. Steve Harvey did it. Both of his wives was brown skin. Okay, when he got successful, he traded in his first wife, his second wife, and got with Marjorie, you know, a woman that already does not have a pristine reputation, and made her this trophy wife and basically put on a pedestal. Why? Because she got the complexion for the connection. And that basically that comes with the Hollywood Negro package. You know, once you start making the money, you go get you a light-skinned honey, okay? You either go light-skinned, bright, or white. You know, and that is what they do. It got to be mixed, biracial, half black, Korean, or Asian. That is what some of these men do when they get up in the money. You know, they start getting up in the money. They have a different preference. Their preference becomes lighter, right? So basically, we've witnessed Kevin Hart already show his true colors the way he did his first wife. Not saying she was perfect. I'm sure she had faults and flaws and things that she very well could have worked upon herself. But she was his original ride or die. Allegedly, that's when he started seeing 𝐜𝐚'𝐬. That is his current wife that he's married to. I don't know if she's Asian and black. I don't want to get her ethnicity mixed up, but I'm really not sure. But supposedly, allegedly, that is who he cheated on 𝐜𝐚'𝐬 with, okay? They became engaged August 18th, 2014. They had their first child 2017. Well, they met 2014, got married 2016, had their first child 2017, and they had their second child, a girl, 2020. So 𝐜𝐚𝐬 was making sure she was getting all them babies in, okay? And that's usually what most women do when they get with these type of men that are in the money. They make sure they start having children, securing the bag, and making sure that in the event things don't work out, they know they're going to be secure for life. So in many instances, most men, you know, they don't have an issue initially with it because they are so infatuated with the prize that they got on their arms. So they don't think about stuff like this until a divorce takes place. And now Becky is trying to take him for all he has, because there's this stigma that, you know, only black women, only we are gold diggers, you know. Only we are the ones that's trying to take men for what they got, you know, as if white women and Asian and mixed and biracial women want broke men, okay? That's just a woman, period. It has nothing to do with the color of her skin. No woman wants to be in the struggle, period, point blank. So what's going on, y'all, is that your boy got caught up in a second scandal. You know, his assistant went on the Tasha K show, basically aired him out, and basically put it out there that he is once again cheating on his wife for a second time, but with a flight attendant, okay? So unfortunately, they are right back where they started from. you know, and there's a pictures already floating around. Matter of fact, the assistants that aired out Kevin Hart's business was Maisha Shakes, and she basically was very detailed, even about his first cheating scandal when he first got exposed, which I'm going to put the video of his first exposure with the first female. I'm going to add that in this content, so that way y'all be able to see that for yourselves. And of course it was a leaked video the very first time he got caught, and he was caught cheating with a woman named Montia Sabaj in Las Vegas, you know, and his marriage was on the rocks then, you know, and particularly so because it went viral and the video was leaked, right? So it's one thing if you hear about your man cheating, but when the solid actual evidence is put out there like video footage, it was basically very humiliating experience for Kevin Hart's wife Aniko, to actually see that, and not only she sees that, her friends see that, her family sees that, you know, because her husband is a celebrity. So instead of Kevin Hart taking the L, you know, when he got turned up, he called himself, you know, taking some type of accountability, but it was at the expense of throwing his best friend, ex-best friend, Jonathan Todd, known as JT. And basically the narrative that Kevin Hart had put out there, and even the assistant said this on Tasha K's show, was that it was JT that planted the camera in the room where the smashing session went down. So basically Kevin Hart threw his friend up under the bus, okay? And I remember I covered this story myself when I first found out about it. And of course, everybody was angry with the best friend, because even Charlamagne called JT donkey of the day. Everybody was riding with Kevin Hart, including me. I'm guilty. So everybody was really in their feelings with JT, like, bruh, that's messed up. Because, you know, we know these celebrities, they go through stuff like that. They get extorted. They have their own assistants rat them out. Their best friends, their right-hand man. We've seen this happen a lot, right? So because nobody really knew JT like that, and because Kevin Hart is very popular and well-known, everybody automatically sided with Kevin Hart. Jackson was later accused of trying to extort the comedian, but the case was dismissed. And Hart circumvented that by coming clean about his infidelity in the Instagram video. So what I'm going to do is pause and pump the brakes, because I'm going to let y'all hear two different parts of this situation, right? The first part is I want y'all to hear how his friend, ex-friend, JT expresses his anger towards Kevin Hart for basically throwing him up under the bus, getting him blackballed, all because Kevin Hart felt like his marriage was on the rocks. And to save face, admitting that he did it, but he used JT as an scapegoat, saying that my friend was the one who set me up. Okay, any woman who got common sense, listen, I see your dick going in this broad, okay? I don't give a damn who extorted you. The proof is in the pudding. However, Kevin Hart was able to dodge a bullet, not getting a divorce the very first initial time when he got caught, because he used his friend, ex-friend now, JT. So that's why some of you guys got to be careful, because just like these hoes ain't loyal, in the words of Chris Brown, these Negroes ain't loyal either. Okay, Kevin Hart knew Anika was going to walk out and leave him. So to make it look right, he basically threw JT under the bus. But the thing about it was, it all came out during the evidence and JT's lawyers and Kevin Hart's lawyers that Kevin Hart had lied. That's why the charges was dropped against JT. But we didn't hear nothing about it because, you know, these celebrities, they got a lot of power. They can pay people to make stuff go away. They can pay people to make people be quiet and not say a word. It's just the powers that be. You know what I mean? Until the grits hit the fan, and it seems like 2024 has been a year of revelation. So a lot of these stars now, you know, they're getting exposed. All of their dirt is coming to the light now. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna play a snippet of what Kevin Hart's ex-best friend JT had to say about the situation, and we'll go from there.
His pregnant wife. This started out as a man who cheated on his pregnant wife on her birthday weekend in Vegas. That's how the story was run for a long time. And Kevin's team was successful in shifting that narrative to Kevin being the victim of something that happened in Las Vegas.
Fair use.
Jacob Glucksman.
Fair use.
Jacob, can you kind of detail what's currently going on with JT?
Yeah, happy to. So what's going on right now is that, well, let me take it back for a second. When I came onto this case, we sort of blew it up and exposed to the DA that this has nothing to do with extortion. Whatever the allegations were, it has nothing to do with extortion. The DA, to his credit, agreed, saw that, and dropped all the extortion cases against JT. However, that wasn't it for the DA. They have an attitude of they won't stop at anything for this case. They have it out for JT, and they will stop at nothing to get him. And that's what's very problematic about this case, because, and that's unique to Los Angeles especially, because what we have going on right now is a celebrity case of celebrity justice, where you get one of the biggest stars in the world who is getting his own set of law enforcement and prosecutor and justice system against someone who he feels did wrong by him. And that's not okay. We can't stand for that anywhere in our system. So you hear a lot about what's going on in the news now with criminal justice reform and police officers and law enforcement and prosecutors manipulating evidence, changing evidence, falsifying evidence. That's exactly what has gone on in this case. It started from the beginning. The original search warrants against JT were fraught, against not just JT, other companies as well, were fraught with errors, misstatements, untruths. I don't want to use the L word, but something real close to that. No. Okay. Something real close to that. Something real close to lies. Okay? Omissions, material omissions, riddled with it. Nothing was true. I mean, from the simplest thing, it said in the warrants that Kevin Hart received a text message at his home in Los Angeles County. Not only they knew full well he never received a text message, A, and B, he was not even at his home in Los Angeles County. A simple Google search showed that he was on tour in North Carolina at the supposed time he received a text message, which he didn't. No effort was ever made to correct that misstatement. Okay, so the reports are filled with these kind of inaccuracies. Now,
fair use.
When you fast forward, once the DA realized that, and realized that they got it wrong, okay? And that's okay. You can get things wrong. And they realized that they got it wrong. What they should have done is dropped the case, walked away. You know?
So basically, what JT's attorney is saying that once they realized that all the accusations Kevin Hart made was not correct and not valid, versus them, you know, just admitting to it and, you know, putting the statements out there boldly that we incorrectly, you know, accused this man of something he did not do. Kevin Hart basically, you know, made us investigate something, and we realized it was a lie. He had us doing all his footwork, and we see, based off the evidence that's presented to us, that JT is really not at fault. But they're not going to do that. Instead, they just going to try to lowball it and just say, okay, we was wrong, and just slight, just brush it up under the rug type of thing. And that is what the attorney was saying, like, no, we don't need to just brush this up under the rug. We need y'all to acknowledge this as strongly as y'all acknowledge JT was the one who extorted Kevin Hart.
Once the DA realized that, and realized that they got it wrong, okay? And that's okay. You can get things wrong. And they realized that they got it wrong. What they should have done is dropped the case, walked away. You know, what Kevin Hart did in Las Vegas, that was a bad move on his part. That was a mistake on his part. But what happened is that Kevin got together a team of very powerful and well-known attorneys, together with his whatever agents, managers, what have you. And they basically concocted a story to make Kevin look like the victim in the case. Then they got together, they presented this case to the DA. The DA and the investigator in the case, wow, they got a taste of celebrity here. One of the biggest stars in the world, Kevin Hart. And they went and ran with it. And they continue to persist on charges against Mr. Jackson when the evidence just doesn't bear out. They have gone so far as to literally make up a charge against him. And when you talk about what's going on in the world right now, when you have rapists and murderers and drug dealers and street robberies going on, here you have this man who served our country, who has absolutely no criminal record, and you have law enforcement and the criminal justice system doing everything they can to pin charges on this man. And that's not okay. And we need to stand against it. And we need to oppose this. But like I just said, you have the case of celebrity justice, where you have a very powerful celebrity with a team of high-profile and high-powered attorneys and agents and managers putting pressure on the district attorney's office to pursue charges. Because the stronger they go against JT, the more of a victim Kevin Hart becomes.
Honestly, my take on it,
JT is speaking now.
They thought that I was just this black dude that couldn't afford a lawyer, and they probably rolled the dice and thought I was going to get a public defender. No offense to public defenders, but they made so much noise in the beginning. Maybe due to perp walk, we got the guy. Kevin put out the Twitter, and it was this big thing, and again, like how he said, now it's the pie in the face. It's just like, oh shit, now they can, but it would make them look, extremely bad, and they probably thought about some lawsuit or whatnot, if they just come out and say, oh, well, we made a mistake, Kevin was never extorted.
And by that time, Kevin had shifted the narrative. This started out as a man who cheated on his pregnant wife on her birthday weekend in Vegas. That's how the story was run for a long time. And Kevin's team was successful in shifting that narrative to Kevin being the victim of something that happened in Las Vegas. And they weren't about to risk going back to Kevin going back to being that guy who cheated on his wife.
Absolutely. 100%. Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it right there, y'all. This interview is on Comedy Hype. That is the name of the channel. That is where I got this information from. Information I used as fair use for entertainment purposes only. But that's where you can check out the rest of the interview, y'all. Right? So we basically get down to the steak and the potatoes. Bottom line was Kevin Hart was out there slinging peen, okay, on his pregnant wife's birthday. All right, he's in Vegas. He's turning it up. From what we were told, and the assistant even said it, Kevin loves to gamble. And on top of gambling, we also know that Kevin Hart loves, smashing other females. So obviously Kevin has a lot of different issues going on. And the reason I played this interview is to make y'all see that, unfortunately, people, when they have a lot of money, they have a lot of power. They're able to get away with things that people that don't have the same level of notoriety can't. But in this instance, JT didn't just back down without a fight. He went and bossed up, got a good lawyer, because like he said, they thinking because he's not on Kevin Hart's level that he was going to have to get a public offender. You know what I mean? So, public defender. So, nevertheless, you know, once they realized what type of attorney they was up against, you know, that's when they call themselves trying to, like, you know, low key, you know, brush this off. Like, okay, we see Kevin was wrong, JT was right, but we got to keep that narrative going. What you got to realize is it boils down to Kevin Hart trying to save his marriage. All right, because he already done been caught once, right? And there's no telling how many other times. That's just once that we know of. Now, this second, you know, succubus side chick has been exposed. And once again, Kevin Hart is being exploited. But this time, it's from his assistant. And what Kevin Hart tried to do was spin that same narrative on Tasha K by implying that Tasha K threatened to put the information out there. So once again, he can look like the victim. Once again, like he threw his best friend under the bus. Now he trying to throw Tasha K under the bus. So let's talk about this second side chick, y'all, right? Let's go into talking about this. Like I said before, there was a speculation that Hart's former friend, Todd JT Jackson, planted a camera in a room where the incident took place. Jackson was later accused of trying to extort the comedian, but the case was dismissed. And Hart circumvented that by coming clean about his infidelity in an Instagram video he posted. Now, I am going to also play that, in which Kevin Hart is going to try to save face, because he knows at this point, you trying to throw your friend up under the bus, your marriage was still on life support. So let's hear what Kevin Hart tried to say to try to clean up, you know, his tainted image. Okay, after the extortion didn't work, this is when Kevin Hart decided to have a confession moment. So we're going to let him go ahead and chop it up and try to save face. And again, I'm going to be putting the videos in.
I'm at a place in my life where I feel like I have a target on my back, and because of that, I should make smart decisions. And recently, I didn't. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form. And I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And in doing that, I know that I'm going to hurt the people closest to me, who I've talked to and apologized to, being my wife and my kids. And I just, you know, it's a shitty moment. It's a shitty moment when you know you're wrong, and there's no excuses for your wrong behavior. At the end of the day, man, I just simply got to do better. But I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
With LOL, tell me how proud you are of that.
Okay, so basically, like I said, Kevin Hart is trying to save face, you know, because he knows his wife will definitely hang him if she finds out that this second incident is true. Now, like I said, the first time he kind of got by, he got over. Evidently, his wife stayed with him, okay? But this is the second time it's been brought to the surface he's been cheating. So, Hart recently promised he would never return to Sin City without his wife to show he was no longer cheating. Shakes, which is the assistant, Miss Shakes, claims the woman was allegedly pregnant before speaking of another scandal that took place in the office. Is she pregnant again? Asked Tasha K for clarity. Shakes said she once told Kevin's wife, Aniko, Kevin is cheating with a girl named Mixed Morgan. She's the flight attendant. She's on his planes. She then got out of her seat to show Tasha K. Morgan's profile on Instagram, which includes images of her in a bikini on the plane. That's the lady that I have in the thumbnail, y'all. Kevin and Nico got married in 2016 and have had 2 children during the union. Kenzo Hart, 6, and Kaori Hart, age 3. In 2019, Aniko cried as she talked about finding out her husband cheated in a clip from the 3rd episode of the Netflix docu-series Kevin Hart, Don't F This Up. How I found out was a DM. I don't know who it was. They sent me an edited video of Kevin and, you know, another woman, she recalled. Adding, I was pregnant at the time. I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. I was having breakfast. I opened my phone immediately and I just lost it. I called him. I'm crying. I'm like pissed. Right then and there, I kept saying, how the F did you let that happen? Some people believe Aniko is staying with Kevin for the kids and the money. However, this is the only speculation, as neither has come forward to say whether or not the comments are wrong. So, I know that was a lot to take in, y'all. I appreciate y'all patience, but this is what it boils down to. Kevin Hart, like many of these high-profile celebrity men, think that they can get away with doing dirt because they have money to cover their dirt, okay, cover their wrongdoing. Just like with his best friend, he was willing to throw JT under the bus to save his marriage. In this instance here, he once again thought because, you know, he has money, money is power, he thought he was going to be able to sue Tasha K, and that lawsuit got dropped. It says in the suit, Hart claims that an unidentified affiliate of Tasha K reached out to him in November, stating that an interview damaging to his reputation would be published unless he paid the $250,000 ransom. The actor refused to pay, contacted law enforcement and contacted law enforcement and sent a cease and desist to Tasha K, according to the complaint. In the letter, Hart's lawyers warned her that any damages she's forced to pay as a result of her alleged misconduct won't be dischargeable in bankruptcy. Now, this just goes to show you how desperate and thirsty Kevin Hart was trying to really pull himself out of this. And it just goes to show you his pullout game is weak. And if this chick is pregnant, this further confirms how weak his pullout game is. First of all, how he thought suing Tasha K, he was going to win. Tasha K is interviewing the assistant. Miss Shakes is the one that's exploiting you. So, you are suing the wrong person, sir. And I'm surprised with all these rich, high-profile lawyers and attorneys you have on your team, nobody told you that. And see what it is? A man of Kevin Hart's status, he has a lot of yes men. And what it was, I think, Kevin Hart being emotional, feminine, emotional dude he is, he got so angry. Once he heard Tasha K's name, he just ran with it. Because Tasha K is a very huge content creator and she has a huge platform. So anytime somebody comes to Tasha K with some juice, everybody gonna know about it. So I think what happened was Kevin Hart, he panicked, he freaked out when he heard it was Tasha K, and he automatically gunned for Tasha K versus gunning for Miss Shakes. This was the woman who used to work for you and was exploiting you. Okay, but this is what happens when you know you are practically on the urge of losing everything. As we stated, the first time the wife did not take too strong to that public humiliation. It was embarrassing. It was humiliating, righteously so. And he slid under that rock by throwing his friend under the bus. And he tried to apply that same method with the second accusation, because again, all of this is alleged, right? Then he tried to slide and use the same strategy by saying, oh, this person is trying to extort me. But listen, the whole bottom line, Mr. Hart, if you wasn't putting your dick out there, nobody will have nothing to use against you. Why are you not understanding that, sir? But see, people with money, again, they think that they can just say and do what they want, and life is just going to give them a pass. In this case, it did not work for him, right? So, allegedly, this chick is pregnant, okay? I always say a man is only as faithful as his options. A man with a lot of money has a lot of options, so the chances of him being faithful is going to be very slim. You know, not to mention, realize that Kevin Hart probably grew up with low self-esteem issues during his adolescence, during his boyhood. He probably was not what the little girls would consider cute or good looking during that time. You know, in frame, they probably picked on him a lot, probably called him the short man. He was probably the same height that he is now in middle school and elementary. And you know, he probably was the you know, the short dude with low self-esteem. None of the girls want to go to the prom with him. You get what I'm saying? He probably was wearing the hand-me-downs, and you know, I get it. All of us came from some type of struggle. But the problem is, when the person that has come from the struggle has come up, and now they are making money, and now they have become successful, now they want to go and make up for all those times in which females did not validate them. Females did not make them feel like they was that man. And I think Kevin Hart is still struggling from self-esteem issues, which is why anytime a woman is talking to him or you know, dealing with him, he steps outside his marriage, because he still needs to feel validated. Even though he has a beautiful wife, even though he has beautiful children, he has all of this money, Kevin Hart is still struggling with self-esteem issues. You know, he still feels like a low-value man, even though he has this high-value man image. You could be a high-value man with low self-esteem. Just because you wear a suit, it does not mean that you feel confident. Just because you drive a lot of nice cars does not mean that you feel very confident. And I think Kevin Hart is still struggling with self-esteem issues, and no matter how many beautiful women or women who have been dedicated to him, he still feels the need to still step out on his wives. He did it with his first wife, he did it with his second wife. So from the looks of it, 𝐜𝐚'𝐬 may have reached her breaking point. I'm sure the first time when everything came out, he did all that begging. He did that 𝐜𝐴 begging. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. He did that Jodeci begging. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Lady, I will cry for you. You know he did his Jodeci. Okay, you know he did that Jodeci. You know he did that 𝐜𝐴. Baby, I know I'm wrong. I was wrong for stepping out on you on your birthday. Baby, please forgive me. How about I just buy you a 2022 Range Rover? You know one thing about it, when these men with money get caught, baby, they will buy you something in a heartbeat, honey. How many men? Listen, all due respect to Kobe Bryant, when Vanessa found out he was smashing that waitress or whatever, he gave Vanessa all his championship rings. Now you know how expensive them things are. Then he brought her own $5.5 million. I don't know, because I don't know nothing about that kind of money there. Because he knew his marriage was on the line. Men with money, when they know their marriage is on the line, they willing to go for the gusto. You feel me? He was willing to do whatever it took. Because baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Please don't leave and take half of everything. Because really, in many cases, especially if that husband or wife there's evidence and proof of cheating, that's an automatic. Judge automatically grants the spouse who's been cheated on. They automatically grant the spouse who was cheated on. They grant them the favor, the most favor, especially if there's evidence. Now, if it's hearsay, that's different. In many states, also, if there's proof that the husband was cheating, anything in his prenup is not valid. Why y'all think Jeannie Mai out the blue tried to accuse Jeezy of cheating? Because in that clause it stated that if there was any cheating on Jeezy's part, that the prenuptial would be voided. So when Jeannie Mai saw she wasn't going to get anywhere with Jeezy, she tried to come up with the, well, he was cheating on me, but this was the problem. Jeannie Mai had no solid proof. 𝐜𝐚'𝐬, Kevin Hart's wife, is going to have solid proof. Hell, the first video is still floating around with him in a hotel room with the first chick. That's still on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube and put a Kevin Hart cheating video or whatever. It'll pop up. You'll see him in a hotel room. You can't see like the actual, but you see enough to where you know what the hell is going on. In his face, his buttocks, all that, whatever. What's going on is, that's why he was fighting so hard to try to sue Tasha K. That wife is sick of him. He did that Jodeci, baby I'm begging, bought her a Range Rover and whatever else he needed to buy to keep her happy for the moment. I remember very clearly. I remember when that first accusation came out. I remember they got on Instagram around that same time, right? Which, me personally, I don't want nobody to see me after my, let's say if my significant other stepped out and the whole world knew about it. I don't want to be nowhere on Instagram with you. I don't want to be nowhere on Facebook. I don't want to be seen with you. Because I'm still healing. I'm still trying to get through this embarrassment, right? He called himself, and I could tell it was more him doing it than his wife Onika was. They was in one of their cars, one of his vehicles. I couldn't tell because they was in the inside of the car. She was driving on the driver's side. He was on the passenger side, right? He turned on his camera phone, caught himself doing a selfie, and then he pointed the camera towards the direction of his wife. And you can just tell she was so over his ass. There was not a smile on her face. There was not a happy moment. He was trying to, then, I can tell he was trying to redeem himself with her. Like, look at me. I got my wife. I'm acknowledging her. She's with me. We're together. But any woman could read through another woman's pain. I tell that wife was over his ass like, this short son of a bee, this midget ninja got the audacity. That's the look on her face, right? But they got through it, obviously, because that was a couple of years ago. Only unfortunate part was his friend JT lost a lot of movie gigs, movie roles because of that lie that Kevin Hart put out there. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Hart did the Oprah. Kevin Hart got her blackballed. I mean, Kevin Hart got his former best friend TJ Holmes blackballed, where nobody in the industry would touch him. Nobody will come near to him, because when a person of power accuses you of something, unfortunately, popularity holds more weight than, you know, principle. You know what I'm saying? No, if anything, should have been the other way around. Nobody should be rocking with Kevin Hart because of how he got caught lying and throwing his friend up under the bus. But we know what kind of world we in. Money is power. You know, money over everything. You get what I'm saying? So TJ, even though the charges were dropped, he's still struggling out here in these streets, you know, trying to, you know what I mean, make a living, you know, because his name got associated with somebody very powerful in the industry, Kevin Hart, and a lot of people just gonna rock with Kevin Hart. I mean, I'm guilty. When it first came out, I really thought TJ did Kevin Hart in. I felt bad for Kevin Hart. All of us felt bad, but those of us who knew about it or even gave a damn, but it's just a natural instinct for people to automatically side with the celebrity, as if these celebrities are not dirty, conniving, sneaky, low down, like they don't do some foul things behind closed doors. You get what I'm saying? But I think at this point, I would be very surprised if Onika stays with Kevin Hart. Allegedly, rumor has it is that she's lawyering up now. She's, you know, getting ready to, in the words of Usher, get ready to sign them papers. So, Kevin Hart pretty much knows at this point that he may have used his last player pass. He might have exhausted it. Okay, he may have lost all of his cheating passes. And see, we only know about 2. That's what's been brought to us publicly. We don't know how many times Aniko probably been seeing text messages, been seeing Kevin not doing things right. I'll be surprised if this woman stays with him, because the first time she was totally clueless, did not have no clue when she was pregnant. Now, to turn around 2 kids later, and the assistant, and even the assistant said she called herself one and Aniko and all of that. This woman may be totally ready to just be done with him. She got proof of him cheating. She has 2 of his children. That lady going to be banked up. And to be honest, I'm sure she was not even crazy about Kevin Hart like that. Because y'all know and I know, if Kevin was working at the laundromat, fixing washer and dryers, she would not even have looked at him twice. So women like that, unfortunately, when they give men they normally would never even give a chance, and they give that man a chance only for that man to play them and make them look stupid, they go out of vengeance. Because he already had Aniko thinking she was the prize, the best thing since sliced bread. He showed his behind with her, and she showed her ass too on his first wife, Tori, acting like, oh, that was you, honey. I got I am a dime piece. My husband is not going to cheat on me like he did you. You know, I am a prize. I got the complexion for the connection. I'm a queen. I'm beautiful. I'm light skinned. He's not going to cheat on me. Only to find out you no different than any other woman. You ain't no different than his first wife. He cheated on her. Now he cheating on you. So now she has to walk that hall of shame. Now it's going to be 2 things that's going to occur here. Either she's going to suck it up and say, hey, you know, even though I got to walk this hall of shame for the 3rd, 4th time, however many times, and or, you know, this time I'm going to have to let him know I'm standing on business. Now, Aniko did recently post on her Instagram, the level of I don't give a fuck I reached this year is crazy. I don't know if she's insinuating all the times I kept giving his due to pass on not caring about how much he has disrespected or humiliated me. Is just crazy that I've allowed myself to become so numb to all of the disrespect. She could be implying to that. I'm not sure. Or either she could be implying to Kevin like it's him who's not giving an F, that has gotten her to this broken place in which she feels that she has become crazy. You know, just allowing him to be able to do what he's been doing and not really penalizing him. But a lot of people don't feel sorry for Aniko. Again, you know, she played side chick. Even though she tried to lie when Kevin Hart was married to Tori Hart. Okay? So, you know, the way you get him is how you lose him. You know, you can't get with a married man and then you marry him and then all of a sudden you think you stand a better chance. It's not going to happen to you. So a lot of people ain't really vibing or feeling sorry for her like that. You know what I mean? Because when she was on the other foot, Aniko had no remorse. She didn't feel bad about Tori being in pain when she was the side chick. And Kevin just straight up selfish. He just straight selfish. And he's full of himself. He's very arrogant. And his wife probably don't reach her breaking point. But only time will tell how far this goes. What her next step will be. If she's going to actually follow through. If she's going to just be mad all over again because she may think about, I don't want to lose the house. I don't want to lose this lifestyle. I done got used, you know, to the big old fine home. And even though I know if I was to divorce him, the judge could grant me most of that, but I would rather be with him. That way I can enjoy this lifestyle. And not only that, she may use Kevin's guilt to her advantage. You got some women who know their husbands feel guilty about infidelity, so they'll use it as leverage against them. You know, in other words, okay, I'm gonna stay with you, but this is gonna happen. You know, you gonna have to get me my own home, or get me more cars, or whatever requests she got. Most likely he's going to be so desperate and wanting to keep her, he's not going to rebuttal. He's going to be very submissive. He's going to be like a puppy eating out of her hand, because he's not going to want to lose her, because it's about his ego. Kevin Hart does not like losing, okay? That's why he threw his friend under the bus. That's why he tried to sue Tasha K. Kevin Hart does not like to take L's. You know, so it may go either or. If she stays with him, he'll continue to be a puppy, highly submissive to her needs and her wants. Or she may say, I can't do it no more, I can't take the public humiliation, divorce him, and he gonna have to break off that bread anyway. Now, her ethnicity, I know earlier I thought she was like Asian and black, but yeah, come to find out, I see here she's Afro-Jamaican and Asian. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I had her ethnicity correct. It's saying her parents are African and Chinese origin, so mixed with Afro-Caribbean heritage. So, but anyway, that's basically the bulk of it. She's Jamaican, Asian, and Afro-American. Okay, I guess, but anyway, but yeah, that's what it boils down to, y'all. Only time is going to tell if this marriage can stand the test of time. I don't know what else to tell Kevin Hart. He needs to keep his penis in his pants, because evidently every time he gets caught, he wants to throw other people under the bus. He's not man enough to just say, I can't keep my dick in my pants. Anytime he gets caught, he wants to blame somebody, which shows me that you are not a grown man. You do not like to take accountability. So because you don't like to take accountability, you don't need to be going around here smashing other women. Because every time you get caught, you want to blame the hotel room owner for making sure nobody had a camera. You want to blame the service man who came up there to bring y'all orange juice and pancakes. You want to blame your friend. You always looking for somebody to blame, because again, you don't want to take an L, and you feel like because you got all this money and popularity that people are going to automatically side with you and be able to pull you out of your bad decisions. But anyway, y'all, regardless of what happens, how it goes down, I'm going to keep y'all posted, and we'll talk about it another time. Make sure y'all hit that like button before you leave. And this is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Take care.